Welcome back, once again adventurers, to Let's Play Steins 0. In the last episode, Rintaro Okabe discovered the secret that Maho and Daru were trying to keep hidden from him, namely that they were testing the new version of the PhoneWave TBA, which Daru has coined Unit 02. And, needless to say, Rintaro is none too pleased about this new series of events. Of course, yeah, it is as Rintaro says, if they do start experimenting with D-mails, they will basically risk causing a worldline shift, and we definitely do not want that to happen. Also, Rintaro is recapping what happened the first time around with Echelon, and here it is, by the way. An advanced communications monitoring system said by conspiracy theorists to be owned by the US government. It is said that the system is operated by America's National Security Agency, the NSA, but the US government has never publicly admitted to its existence, and no proof of it has ever been found. Participating countries supposedly include America, England, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. France is not included among them, interestingly enough. Japan is what is called a third party, which which receives information in exchange for putting an Echelon receiving station in their country. It is rumored that the Elephant Cage, a massive antenna array found at the Misawa Air Base in Aomori, is actually part of Echelon. It supposedly intercepts a wide variety of messages from military traffic to individual cell phones, all of which is stored and monitored. And D-mails are no exception, because, as we all remember, it was the D-mail concerning Kurisu's Makase's death that caused the initial worldline shift in the first place.
そうしたら、マユリはまた死ぬ。
Of course, that is what happens on the Alpha attractor field on all the Alpha world lines.
何度やっても助けられない。永遠に死に続ける。
Yeah, we've been through all this before, but yeah. And then I had a terrifying thought and stared directly into Maho's eyes. No way, she of all people couldn't possibly. I trusted Maho completely, and I didn't want to believe she was capable of it. But the terrible machine that I just confronted had drained me of any kind of rationality. A flashback felt like it was going to hit me any second. Images of Kurisu and Mayuri's deaths were flashing through my mind. And so I said something I never should have said.
君はまさか世界線をアルファに戻したいのか。
To be fair, in Rintaro's defense here, the answer that he wants to this question is no. Which I'm pretty sure is not what Maho and Daru were planning on in the first place. But The problem remains is that if somebody gets their hands on the PhoneWave TBA, they could basically start messing around with the time continuum or the worldline continuum once again. Even though we've already had worldline shifts in the continuum without the PhoneWave TBA by an outside influence. And I do sure hope that neither Maho nor Daru were planning on having cell phones attached to the PhoneWave TBA when they were actually experimenting with it. Or at the very least, I don't think they're sending messages through the cell phone. I think they're just trying to test the timer of the PhoneWave first, but even then, it's still not complete.
マユリが死んでいる世界を望むのか?
I believe this right here is something that Rintaro wishes that he could take back, and unfortunately cannot. But once again, even so, his fear is not entirely unfounded.
この野郎!
There was an impact on my cheek, and a loud sound in my ears. The next thing I knew, I was lying on the ground face up. It was a while before I understood what had happened. The left half of my face felt like it was on fire. I was punched. By Daru of all people. I'd known him for 5 years, and this is the first time that anything like that had happened.
謝れ! 今すぐ魔法団に謝れ!
Of all times to be a true gentleman, Itaru Hashida.
ちょっとやめなさい、橋田さん。
オカリンがどれだけ苦しんでるかなんて僕には想像しかできないけどさ。
You're not wrong there, Daru.
だから安っぽい同情なんてしないし、するつもりもねえよ。でもな、お前結局ただそれに甘えてるだけじゃねえか。
And he's not wrong there either.
マホタンだって鈴葉だってマユシだってみんながお前のためにどれだけ。
もういいからよしなさい。
Maho trying to calm things down. However, Maho grabbed Daru's body and tried to hold him back.
離せ! こいつもっとぶん殴ってやらないとわかんないんだよ。
もう十分よ。今ので十分。だから落ち着いて。
And this time, Maho put her hand on Daru's shoulder.
後の説明は私がしておくわ。顔でも洗ってきなさい。ほら。
She pointed to the shower room, and Daru finally seemed to get control of himself again.
わかった。
He looked a little awkward as he lowered his fist. Normally he hated any kind of seriousness, and so in a situation like this he'd always tell one of his perverted gentleman jokes. But there were no jokes as he vanished beyond the curtain into the shower room. A moment later I could hear the sound of the water.
まったく。
Maho was looking down at me.
あなたがおかしなことを言うからよ。
そうだな。すまなかった。今のは決して本心じゃ。
分かってるわ。あなたそんな人じゃないもの。ほら立てる？
I grabbed her hand and slowly got up. I'd taken a solid hit when I wasn't expecting it, and so my head was still a little dizzy.
今のは聞いた。普段優しいやつが怒ると聞くな。
Definitely stronger than he ever gave himself credit for.
そうね。しかも自分のためじゃなく他の誰かのために怒れる人は素敵だと思う。少しだけ見直したわ。
Maho seemed a bit happy as she looked towards the shower room.
見直したのは少しだけなのか？
だって私への言動がいつもセクハラばっかりだもの。
もしかしたら君のことが好きになったのかもしれないぞ。子供がよくやるだろう。好きな子に意地悪するとか、あれと同じだ。あいつ頭の中子供だからな。
Suppose you would know better than anyone, Rintaro Okabe.
冗談じゃないわ。鈴葉さんを私の娘にしたいわけ？
I think she would be somewhat shocked and devastated by that
それは
development.
まずいな。
I chuckled a bit, but quickly stopped and turned to face Maho. By the way, it hurts to laugh. The difference between our heights was so great that I was looking down on her.
俺の主観で言えば、この世界はクリスの選択のおかげで存在してるんだ。クリスがいたからマイリは無事でいられる。幸せに暮らしていられる。
I believe when we were inadvertently shifted onto the Alpha World line once upon a time, Kurisu essentially said the same thing.
それを俺も守らなくちゃいけない。君は科学者だ。俺なんかよりずっと優れた頭脳の持ち主だ。だから理解できるだろう、この世界の摂理を。
I wouldn't necessarily call them laws myself, not technically anyway, but yeah. Worldline convergence has been incredibly cruel to Rintaro up to this point. Maho quietly nodded.
それは言ってみれば神みたいなものなんだよ。
You could even call it the choice of Steins of all things.
神に人間が挑むなんて無謀だったんだ。なのに俺はそれに何回も何十回も何百回も挑んで全てが失敗に終わった。無駄だったんだ。人の傲慢を神は決して許さない。
そうね。
Maho was looking out the window. It was as if she was thinking back to her homeland and ancestors.
神というのは私の祖国やあるいは沖縄の人たちの間でもポピュラーな存在として信じられているわ。私も祖父母や父母からその素敵な考えを教えられてきた。科学に身を捧げるものではあるけれど決して神を侮ったりはしない。
それなら
Maho shook her head a little and looked up at me with a piercing gaze.
けどね、あなたが盛んに口にする神はそれとは全く違う。
Her words were sharp, with no room for disagreement.
世界の摂理ですって。そんなものはただこの世界を構築している数式に過ぎないわ。
And yet there are obstacles and elements that people simply cannot overcome, even with time and effort.
神なんて立派なものは介在していないし、私たちに解が導けない道理はないのよ。
I wouldn't necessarily call God a wonderful being, but that's just me. I was about to respond, but before I could, Maho went inside the development room. I had no choice but to follow her. Very well then.
D メールとエシュロンとの因果、それによる危険性については十分認識しているわ。
Seems that Daru has brought Maho up to speed concerning what happened.
安心しなさい。 D メールは今の時点では封印してある。
That's a good thing to know, because if somebody else had tried to send a message to any phone plugged into the phone wave TBA, it could have ramifications.
あなたの懸念しているような事態は起こらないし、私が絶対に起こさせない。アルファ世界線に戻させたりもしない。
Though, given the fact that we've already inadvertently shifted back to the Alpha worldline once before, there is actually nothing to say that it won't happen
も
again.
ちろん D メールの危険を回避する方法もエシュロンを無効化する策も橋田さんと検討中よ。
So it looks like they're trying to find a workaround to Echelon, but CERN aren't the only ones we have to worry about anymore.
ただ
If I have to keep pointing that
今
out.
はその検証にリソースを割くより先にやらなくてはならないことがあるの。個人的にもね。
And pray tell, what would that be? Maho tapped the top of the phone wave TBA Unit 02.
今私たちが研究しているのはクリスが成し遂げたというタイムリープの方。
In other words, they rebuilt the phone wave TBA so that Maho could develop the time leap machine.
じゃあタイムリープしかできないのかそれ。
そういうことになるわね。
In other words, it cannot send messages back into the past. She was right. I was looking at a time leap machine, not the phone wave TBA. I could tell they recreated all the improvements that Kurisu had made to the phone wave. The most obvious was the PC and the monitor that were connected to the microwave. And connected to the PC was a headset and what looked like a cord covered in electrodes. In this world line, only I knew the details of how the time leap machine was set up, and I hadn't told Daru or Maho about them. In other words, with only some small hints, Maho had managed to create the same thing as Kurisu. Interesting.
正直なところとても悔しいわ。
Of course, there are still a few drawbacks to its development.
悔しい。
研究すればするほどやっぱり私はクリスにはなれないって思い知らされるのよ。
Indeed, there can be only
記
one.
憶をデータ化してそれをトップダウン検索信号込みで携帯電話に転送する。そこまではできるの。
And come to think of Maho and Rintaro had discussed various aspects of Kurusu's neuroscience theory that apply to the time loop machine.
ただ最大の問題がクリアできない。クリスはそれをやってのけたのに。
データの圧縮だな。
Yeah, and of course that's where they desperately need Rintaro's help. Maho nodded.
何テラバイトもある膨大な記憶データをどうやって圧縮するのか。その謎が、私ではどうしても解けない。
That's where the certain aspects of the D-mail system actually were applied as well. That was the part that Kurusu had struggled the most with too. But in the end, with Daru's help, she'd been able to do it.
あなたはクリスから何か聞いているのかしら。その方法を。
She definitely explained about it in great detail. She seemed a little unhappy as she asked me that. Asking for the answer meant giving up on finding the solution herself, and so it meant admitting defeat. Maybe that was really hard for her. Yet she'd chosen to put completing the machine first. But I had no intention of giving her the answer right away. It seems that Rintaro still has his reservations about all this.
俺の経験したことを話した時に約束をしたよな。覚えてるか？タイムマシンでマキセ・クリスを救おうなんて絶対に考えるな。
ええ。
Seems like she's going to keep to that promise, supposedly.
その約束を守るつもりがあるか？
Then again,
その気がないなら協力はできない。
seems like Rintaro's not budging on this. Much to Maho's internal disappointment. Maho didn't answer for a while. But without even looking at her face, I could tell that she was being torn apart inside.
もちろん守るわ。あなたとの約束だもの。
Looks like either way Maho Hyajo is going to admit defeat after all. After a long pause, she gave her answer. I couldn't help but laugh.
君は嘘が下手だな。そんな顔をしていたらすぐにバレる。話は終わったな。
It seems that Rintaro is going to go his separate ways, it seems. Then I left the development room. I looked towards the shower room, but I could still hear the sound of falling water from being within. Daru was showing no signs of being done.
なあ、ダル。バカは俺だった。本当にすまなかった。
I spoke, but there was no answer. Maybe he hadn't heard me. It seemed better for both of us if I apologized tomorrow.
また明日来るから。
Better late than never, I suppose. That was all I said as I headed towards the door.
岡部さん。
Maho followed me. She came up to me so fast she almost slammed into me.
シュタインズゲートは実在すると思う？
Well, considering that name only exists because of Rintaro's imagination.
真由里さんが死ぬことなく、そしてクリスも犠牲にならない、そんな狭間の世界線があると思う？
Yeah. Reaching it, as we have heard many times throughout this adventure, is going to be no small task. And now Rintaro is the one who is being torn from within.
それを目指した俺の顛末を知りたいなら鈴葉に聞くといい。
But it seems like Rintaro is loath to tell Maho the full story of what happened.
結局運命には逆らえなかった。あんなのはくだらない妄想だよ。
As well as a Chonibiyu name.
そう言い切ってしまって本当にいいの？ないと証明されたわけではないのよ。
そんなのまさに悪魔の証明じゃないか。そんな証明誰にもできるわけがない。
Devil's Proof. Said to be originally developed by a jurist in medieval Europe during a case over possession rights. It's used as a hypothetical today in other contexts, such as law or politics, during discussions of rule violations. For example, if someone were to tell you to prove that the devil exists, you could in turn demand proof that the devil does not exist. Then, when they failed to provide that proof, you could say, since you can't prove that the devil doesn't exist, he must exist. This is, of course, simple sophistry that proves nothing at all, but since it can turn a debate into an endless loop, traditionally the burden of proof is placed on the first person to make a statement.
そうよ。あるのかないのかも証明されていないのに、あなたはたった一度失敗したくらいで諦めた。
That's actually entirely from your perspective, Maho Hiajo. Maho was gritting her teeth hard.
呆れてしまうわ。
何？
I almost went out of control and grabbed her by the shoulders. But I managed to stop myself at the last second.
さっきも言っただろう。俺はそれ以前に何回も何十回も何百回も挑んで。
私も言ったはずよ。それは神の摂理でも何でもないって。世界線もタイムマシンもシュタインズゲートなんてものも、どれも世界を構築するただの数式に過ぎない。
Actually, to be perfectly honest, I've always questioned the idea that, people and scientists use equations to explain and understand the workings of the universe. But, yeah, there are certain obstacles that, even if you could overcome them, are actually far more difficult than you would initially realize.
何回も何十回も何百回も失敗した。だからなんだというの？そんなの科学の世界では当たり前のことよ。それで失敗したのなら何千回も何万回も何億回も挑戦すればいい。
The Of course, it is a great fool that cannot admit that he has finally been defeated.
そうすれば必ずそこに解放は見つかる。
And at what cost, Maho Hyajo? At what cost to find the answer?
君は何も知らないし経験していないから、そんな無責任なことが言えるんだ。
いいえ、嫌というほど経験してきたわ。失敗も挫折も後悔も、その痛みもアキセ・クリスという天才のせいで。
Chasing Kurisu's shadow is one thing, Maho Hyajo.
数式に感情はないだろ
う。数式を解くのは人間よ。結局のところね。
Again, solving equations is another, but fighting against existence itself is a brutal challenge, to say the least. We were glaring at each other, our faces close enough to kiss. It seems that Maho has learned a thing or two during her own debates and discussions with Kurisu. Maho's gaze burned into me. For some reason I couldn't bear to look at her, so I turned away. I turned around without saying a word and tried to hit the door, but she grabbed the hem of my shirt and stopped me. I didn't expect that.
まだ何か用か。
I turned around annoyed. But Maho does not reply. A moment ago her expression had been so fierce, but now she simply wore a sad smile. It was so different that, for a moment, I thought I'd jumped world lines. But reading Steiner didn't activate, of course. Maho whispered to me.
あなたこそ嘘が下手ね。
嘘。
Was I lying? I put my hands up to my face, trying to figure out what she meant. But that didn't tell me what kind of look I had on my face, of course, so I simply stood there, confused.
嘘ってなんだ。俺は嘘なんてついてない。
橋田さんに聞いたんだけど、1年前のあなたってタイムマシンに関しては取り付く島もなかったんですってね。シュタインズゲートの話なんてそれこそ論外、口にするのもはばかられるほどだったって。
All part of the dark history of Rintaro Okabe.
一体何を言って。
でも今は違うわ。だってあなたのその顔、私が以前よくしていた顔と同じだもの。
And if I may be so bold, Maho Hyajo, your position was that of Rintaro Okabe back before this all started, back during his initial foray into the Alpha World line, although he didn't realize that at the time.
クリスに実証実験で負けて、論文の評価でも負けて、名声でも負け続けて、落ち込んでもうダメだって思って。
That's Kurisu Makase for you, in a nutshell.
けどいつも最後は鏡を見て自分を叱りつけたのよ。
Maho pointed to her own heart with her index finger.
挑戦するのを諦めたら終わり。そうしたら永遠に勝つことはできないってね。
This is not about winning or losing, Maho Viaggio. Then she pointed it at my left breast.
今のあなたはその時の私と同じ顔よ。心の奥の奥ではまだリベンジする気でいる。自分をこんな惨めな男へと貶めたシュタインズゲートに。
Me? I still hadn't given up.
違う、そんなことはない。
違わないわ。あなたってね、ほんと私にそっくり。
Interesting of you to make that
まるで胸
comparison.
像みたい。強情で一度言い出したら聞かなくて、自分が間違ったと分かってもそれを絶対に認めたくなくて子供みたいに拗ねて、誰かに心配や迷惑ばかりかける。
If that's true, then nothing has changed in Rintaro's life.
で、そんなことないよとか少しくらいはフォローしてもらえないとちょっと傷つくわね。けどね、だからこそわかるのよ。私もあなたも最後は絶対に自分の足で立ち上がるの。そうでしょ、岡部倫太郎さん。
And Rintaro has no answer.
もう一度
Maho's
言うわ。
argument.
あらゆる世界の摂理はただの数式であり、その解放は必ず存在する。私は何としても見つけてやるわ。神なんて介在しない、ただの数式を解く鍵を。そうしてマユリさんが死なない、クリスも生きている狭間の世界線に続く道へとたどり着いてやる。
After saying all that, Maho was a little out of breath. She had a lot of vitality in her tiny body. Her words, the way she looked, they hit me so hard I couldn't speak.
で、あなたはどうするの？
And that is a very good question.
岡部所長、ここはあなたのラボなのでしょ？いつまでも所長不在では話にならないのだけれど。
In all honesty, if truth be told, the Future Gadget Laboratory was essentially nothing more than a clubhouse started by Rintaro Okabe.
俺は
And then I got a rhyme message. Who is it from? Let us check it. Big trouble. What do I do? Mayuri. I just happened to pass by her, and she was running away crying. I've never seen her so sad. Mayuri? Crying? That's unusual. I could tell something bad was going on. When she saw my shock, Maho looked over at the phone too. She was crying. What happened? I don't know, replies Ruka. I just happened to run into her, so I said hi, and she was crying. I was really surprised, but when I asked her what was going on, she was really upset. She said that it was her fault that Kurisu had died, and that's why you were suffering. Oh dear. Seems like while Maho and Rintaro were both having the argument of the century, Mayuri was standing outside the door, listening in the whole time. She said she should have died instead. And then she ran away. I ran after her, but I lost her. What do I do, Okabe? What do I do indeed? Well, this is an unfortunate turn of events. I looked at Maho.
まさか聞かれてたのか。
That's the only logical explanation to all this.
そういえば
Oh, and Daru is out of the shower now. And is standing right behind me.
オカリンがラボに来るって知らせてくれたのマユシだ。
So Mayuri told Daru that Rintaro was
マユシも
visiting.
ここに向かってる途中だって言ってた。
Then that meant it was a good chance she did. Very good chance.
そんな。
And now the worst possible scenario in this situation. I felt like my knees were going to give out. Mayuri existed in this world line because of Kurisu's sacrifice. And that was the one thing that Mayuri could never find out. Except now, that's all been thrown out of the window. Me, Daru, Suzuha, Ferris, Maho, everyone who knew the truth had kept it from her. I needed to find her. I believe on that tragically ominous note, it's time to end this episode. So when we return, adventurers, we shall go out in search of Mayuri Shina. Although I'm not entirely sure how much help Rintaro can be at this point, considering what's just happened. As always, adventurers, until next we meet.